is anxiety? Anxiety is a physiological or psychological state that can affect behavior, emotions, and cognitive processes. It is simply defined as a feeling of concern or fear that brings uneasiness, displeasure, or stress to a person.
40 million people in the United States suffer from anxiety, making it the most common mental illness.
Factors of anxiety are influenced by one's nature and nurture and are best studied by twin studies.
Studying twins raised apart is the best natural experiment we have. Genetic and environmental influences are disentangled, and we can look at the differences between identical twins and see where the environment comes in to create these differences in genetically identical people.
We don't have the same genetics.
Yeah, we do.
No.
Don't we?
We're fraternal.
You have 50% same genetics, like same as the regular siblings.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you're different eggs.
Our genes and biological makeup, which is passed down from parents to offspring, may lead one to be predisposed to a specific disorder, in this case, anxiety.
My dad has a very stressful, important job, and I think because of that, he is just an anxious person in general, and I definitely think those genetics and those traits passed down onto me. Just knowing what my dad is like and how he handles his situations and seeing how I handle mine, it's very similar in certain ways, and we do both get stressed out about similar things. We want our family members to always be happy, we want our friends to always be happy. We don't want to be seen as the bad guy for any reason. And when there's a chance that we get stressed out easily. So I could see the correlation between them.
New evidence found by the Human Genome Project has linked depressive and anxiety disorders to specific genes.
The work by Winslow and others identified 15 areas of the human DNA that show signs of harboring genetic variations that affect risk of becoming depressed or developing an anxiety disorder.
So I would say temperament is an individual difference, sort of like a personality characteristic that is present very early in life. So babies could be sort of more fearful, right, or more afraid of novel things, less approach-oriented, which I think those could make you this sort of translate into anxiety in adulthood.
I'd say throughout high school and college, we both have had the same friend groups. Throughout high school, had the same friends, so we'd hang out with the same people. But when we came to college, we sort of went down our own paths and had a different set of friends.
Obviously, we would see each other throughout the week, but we wouldn't be hanging out with each other as much as we did leading up through high school.
We have similar morals and values and stuff, and we're both pretty hot-headed and stubborn people, so.
Yeah, both outgoing, quick temper.
We speak basically the same way. I will say something 10 minutes before he will say something, and he didn't even know I said the same thing as him. We both have the similar skill sets in all different aspects, everything.
I think Zach and I have a lot of the same similarities. I think that when it comes to our work ethic, that from a young age, Zach was he worked really hard in school, and I was more laid back. But as we moved through middle school and high school and college approached, I became not envious of Zach's success in school. It motivated me to work harder.
I was always anxious in meeting new people, so when I would see him interact with kids, I would just basically introduce myself to them.
We would choose our own thing, but we would end up doing the same thing as each other. It's kind of we weren't really comfortable doing things on our own at the time, so we kind of rely on each other to help one another.
I have generalized anxiety, so I'm very anxious, but he's less anxious than I am.
I have anxiety before the test, but I'll study, I'll just get through it, and then when I actually take the test, I don't normally have a problem.
I'll have it before, during, and after. So
I often don't really show it to people. I tend to just shut off my phone and tend to isolate myself from others.
If I get anxiety, I will either shut my phone off if I'm doing work, or if I have anxiety with a friend, maybe I will go play a sport and get it off my mind.
I think it's more genetics. in my opinion.
Why do you think that?
Just because we're just so closely related that we basically have the same mindsets.
I definitely think the environment plays a big part of doing that, considering we're together for a lot of the time and we have the same friends, so we're like in the same situation a lot.
So I actually think it's a combination of both nature and nurture. To start with the nature standpoint, I would say obviously having the same genetics as my twin brother, that played a big role of how our everyday life was.
I think that like genes definitely played a role with our like anxiety and like we definitely got that from our mom.
I think the genetic composition of people, they're predisposed to be like more anxious than others, but I think the environment, like, and the competitiveness of like one with their peers definitely increases the level of anxiety.
Definitely an interaction. I think there's probably genetic risk factors and certain characteristics that lead to susceptibility to anxiety disorders.
So there are several very concrete examples of disorders or medical conditions where you can have a genetic predisposition